come out. Yes, still I just do.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Rebbe's advice on this election day. But today we have a subject that I think you're going to really like. It's nothing to do with elections. It has to do with Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shamayim, with accepting upon ourselves the yoke of the kingdom of heaven. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's presentation about the way Chasidim daven. By the way, I mentioned to those of you who were at the gala the other night, I said we have to learn from Chasidim how to daven and from Bacharim how to party. So we should daven like Chasidim and we should party like Bacharim, and then we'll be good. So that's what today is about. We already had how to eat like Bacharim, and today we're going to talk about how to daven like Chasidim.
Die werden sehr länger gerade, so beide. Seit der Zeit von dem Leben, da ich angekommen in Saal, hat man sich von mir genommen, sagt die ältere Bachrin, also soll trachten Chassidus. Na, sag ich, was ist mit trachten Chassidus? Sagt also, du lernst stoppen. Das ist gelernt. Und der Teire, der ich mit zu sagen, tracht das Zieber, und das soll da mit mir.
Der Mischne sagt, als neben dem Lehispali Lelo mit Tef Kevid Reish, was der Linie von Kevid Reish ist auch heute passend in Schulchenorach in Ramo, als dass die Hisbeinen ist, bei Gadlus Hakel, in dem Gadlus von dem Mebischen und Beschieflus wurde. Weil der Pfarrer ist das, was man angeführt hat, man muss lernen, Ajinien, was bringt sie Hisbonenes in Gdulas Hawaii, Kedem hat Philo, warum das ist nicht Ajinien von noch Alimut Bemeshach Hayim, dass der Tnai Hamiyakiv, also soll können stehen mit Philo Lifnei Hamokim.
So, ich dem Rebbe, mir redet als die Frau, die man noch sieht ist, Abedes hat viele, weil in Deutschland Abedes hat viele. Sagt Rebbe, aber dann nicht. Also, es sind zwei besondere Sachen. Wenn ich sehe, sagt hat wie du lernst. Du lernst Atestes, du lernst Gemorret. Davne ist gar eine andere Sache. Die erste Sache in Davne wird was Retzach in Davne. In Davne Retzach, die Gartlesabeere ist wahr. Was Rebbe sieht dann als sehr viele gute Sachen, die Gutskeit von dem Ebersten. Das ist das nicht so.
Es ist nicht maßig, das was mir sagt, dass Befiv und Bisfosso, wie Libam, Lenoche, Nimei, das darf der Limud und die Hisbeinen ist beefern, das soll sein, die Tizor der Linie von Kevid Reish, ach no wie Schiflus. Und dass nicht ein Jinge, wo das Lechatchile, ein Hider Mitzwe und ein Schwach Mitzwe, nur neben dem Leispalel, Elo mit Tech Kevid Reish.
Once I wrote to the Rebbe, I wrote, when I got up, it may have bleibt nicht gezeigt, so dann im time before davening, so dachten wir Chassidus. Und das hat so gesagt, früher, bist du aufstehen früher, bist du haben 15 Minuten. Also, das ist Chanin, Fragisch, aber ist nicht, ihr darfst nicht gucken, was ich 15 Minuten, machen das ein paar Minuten mehr recht. Geschrieben, was zu tun, das wir hören. Beim Seder, tracht das über dem Tegen. Weil ich versuche nach andere Sachen, ist es, ich betrachte mal die Awareness und dem Tegen.
Die Bauda me Luft das so beschreiben Hisbonenes und die Verbindung, aber das darf Eiserechim sein. In seiner Mille sagt Philo, ist doch verstandig, als nicht mehr meint, als soll Traktor, der Chager oder Durchleifendig oder Schiedsrichtig, Nur das meint man, der Pastus, der Tegen von dem Psag-Din Borut, hat das darf sein in der Nefen von Hisbonenes und in der Nefen, soll sein Rischume Nike. In der Tfilo, was sagt, Liachrise.
One time I asked about Tracht Chassidus, if it should be after the Asius Arav or the Egene Asius. So the Rebbe said, the Fomim Tchufis, betracht mit Egene Asius, trockt man sich zu mehr und man kriegt mehr Chayes.
לפעמים קורה שאתה מתחיל לחשוב ונופלים לך מחשבות אחרות, או שמתנתק המחשבה. אז הרב אמר שכדאי שהספר יהיה מונח לפניך, וכשאתה חושב סידס, אז אם נופל לך, אם נתנתק המחשבה, או שנופל מחשבה אחרת, כשמסתכלים באותיות, אז ראשית כל מיד חוזרים לעניין, ולאותיות יש כוח שמחזיקים את המחשבה לרכז אותו לעניין אחד.
Der Receiver hat Teines, hat geschrieben zum Rebbe, also Lubavitcher. Also weißt, wir lernen nicht, wir nehmen auf Zeit zu lernen, wir haben es länger ein bisschen, und sie nicht Tzadikim sein, Kinder, wir haben Kinder. Was macht man mit einem Schloss, solche Sachen? Gewiss in seinen Briefen, er kriegt ein paar Rebbe. Es ist auf die geschrieben, ein jedes, wenn es Woche, bin ich eben sehen. Es ist ein Stock in Teines. Ich habe gesagt, haben wir Teines zu dem Chinuch. Es kommt alles gute Sachen von dem.
I decided I would drop out of university and go to Kfar Chabad. And I saw that there were some of the students that they would put on their tefillin, and then they would sit quietly like this for 5 or 10 minutes, and then they would start praying. At that time I was doing yoga meditation every day. So I went over to one of the students and asked him, are you doing meditation? So he says to me, yes, Hasidic meditation. So I asked him, how do you do Hasidic meditation? So he says, you see over there by Shlomo Chaim Kesselman. He will give you directions how to do Hasidic meditation.
Es hat Perle Gordel bejese, was hat Din Bore, was ich gar nicht teuer drauf kenne, Sfeikes, welche Luke Deis, Chulu. Und wie sie verstandig verlot nach Schulchanore, der Chiyuv, was bechol jen wa jen, und nachfall Pikein, ist man nicht meist im Level al Kol Ponim, Simas Lev Haruyo.
When Rabbi Kesselman went to the Rebbe, so the Rebbe asked about me, and he told the Rebbe that I was Baruch Hashem learning Nigla and learning Chassidus, and that I was meditating on Chassidus 10 minutes before davening. The Rebbe was very happy to hear this, and the Rebbe stood up, and the Rebbe said, when Zion thinks Chassidus before davening, it would be good if all of the students in the yeshiva would think Chassidus for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes before praying in the morning.
So I wanted to share with you these characters who spoke in the video. The first one, Rabbi Yehuda Chitrik, was somebody I knew. I didn't know him personally, but I saw him every day. Rabbi Yehuda Chitrik was the oldest Lubavitcher Chassid alive. He passed away at age 106. When I was in yeshiva, when I was learning in rabbinical college in Smicha in 770, he would come to learn. He had a chavrusa every day to learn Chassidus. He learned Likutei Torah and Torah Or. And his study partner was Reb Meir Itkin. So Reb Yudel Chitrik came to learn with Reb Meir Itkin. Reb Yudel, at the time, when I was in yeshiva, he was 103. And he came in every day. He walked to shul every day. And he came to learn in the Beis Medrash together with all the yeshiva students, together with Reb Meir Itkin. And they would study together Likutei Torah. He was still learning at 103. One day he came, and Reb Meir wasn't there. Reb Meir was in his 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And he asks, where's the younger man? Where's the younger man? My chavrusa, the young guy. Because he was 103 and he was 90, 89 or 90 something. So that was a beautiful idea about, there's really two different aspects to the work. One is the in the focusing in on thinking about the learning of Chassidus, and the other is the focusing in on it and really thinking into it. And the Rebbe pointed out that this is a halachic requirement, that we spend a few moments before davening, before praying, to think, to meditate on how great God is and how humble humans are. So we got some practical suggestions. First of all, that one has to be well rested. And the Rebbe told Reb Pinya Korf, who was he was one of the mashgichim, or one of the mashpiyim in 770 also a yid who, an incredible ovid. He really davened for hours every day, and a very special Jew. And so the Rebbe told Reb Pinya that he should go to sleep earlier, so that he'll have mental capacity to be able to meditate in the morning. And the Rebbe told the other chassid that it would be helpful to have a book in front of you, so that when your thoughts wander, because that's normal when you meditate, that your thoughts wander. And so the Rebbe told him that he should have the book in front of him, and that way he'll be able to redirect his thoughts. And the other thing which I really found powerful, the other message there, was about not trying to think, to review the actual text, but to put the text into your own words. So you have to learn some content about spirituality, about Hashem, which is what Hasidic teaching is all about. Learn something that we know about Hashem, or even through Sifrei Musar. But it's not about the way I should be, but about the way the world truly is, the way Hashem truly is. And then think it over in my own words. And for a few minutes a day, that's a good practice. So we can all be encouraged and reminded about this very important and meaningful proper way of praying, which is not just to roll out of, how they used to say in Yiddish, is arabgekeichelt von Bettel bis in Brettel. He went from the bed to the table. Right? So we shouldn't just daven rolling out of bed and going to the yamud, to the table where we have our sitter. Rather, we should pause and reflect for a moment on before whom we stand. So that's the Rebbe's advice for today. Meditate.
Rabbi, I was trying to listen to how they translated the word meditation. I said a few of them said trachting, to think.
Yes.
Oh, because we didn't use the word in the 1960s. We didn't use that word.
Right.
So it must have been some Yiddish word that we used. And then they had the word hisbonenus,
right,
which isn't Yiddish, of course,
right,
which is Hebrew. So those seem to be the two words, hisbonenus and
trachten. Yeah.
Trachten.
They used to call it trachten Chassidus fahren davening, right? Thinking about Chassidus before davening.
Yeah.
But my Chassidus teachers doesn't use the word meditate. He says focus in.
Focus. Okay.
Focus in.
Because meditate also seems
has
to
other
indicate
connotations.
that you're talking. You know,
Meditating what?
that you're speaking,
Chanting.
not think. You know, and this is more of a mental state, I think. Okay. You
Yes,
gave a whole course in this.
I did.
Was it a year ago, 2 years ago?
A couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was very powerful for me also personally to really spend time, researching and gathering more information about this important practice. All right, I want to share one letter of the Rebbe with you, which very interesting. It's completely on a different subject, but this letter is to a person who wrote a letter to the Rebbe that they were very disturbed because they had accidentally thrown a Torah scroll into the trunk of their car. What happened? They had the Torah in a suitcase. They were traveling and they were bringing a Torah with them. And they didn't realize which suitcase had the Torah in. And so they took the Torah scroll, they took this suitcase with the Torah scroll and they threw it into the trunk. And then oy vey, they realized that was the suitcase that had the Torah scroll in it.
Oh.
So the Rebbe writes to this person who was very concerned about their having thrown the Torah. Benegeya dem pekel in welchen is gelegen Sefer Torah. With regards to the package, your bundle that had a Torah inside of it. Al pi roiv in azel gefallen pakt men es ein vanander genommen heit. Was denstmal is the din viel leichter. So, you know what is vanander genommen heit? Vanander genommen heit. You know what this word means?
No.
I think it means together with other things. So in any case, because of that, because the Torah was packed inside a suitcase, wrapped. Oh, vanander genommen means wrapped. Vanander genommen heit is wrapped.
Yeah, it was wrapped, right?
Right. So since the Torah was wrapped, when you put it in the suitcase, you didn't just put the Torah in the suitcase. You probably wrapped it in something else.
Usually it's in a
Usually we
towel.
wrap it in a talis. That's right. So densmal is there didn't feel leichter. In that case, the law is much more lenient, but again, them umtragen about the mishandling of this Torah. Aber der Iker in eier Fall, bald das is gelegen kli besoich kli astam noch mehr wie zwei kelim, and certainly in your case, the main thing is that it was a bag inside of a bag, and potentially even more than that. Und der Iker, wie bald man meg das schicken azoi, meg man das euch behandeln azoi. And since it's permitted to send the Torah in this way, it's permitted to handle it that way. Und der Rebbe is nicht was zu klären. You don't have to worry about shipping. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the story, but there was some question about how to handle this Torah. Remember, we don't have the letter which was sent to the Rebbe. We only have the Rebbe's response.
It could be it was shipped and it's going to get, in the post office.
The note says Shelo Yoda Shebetocha Sefer Torah V'Zorcha L'Tocha Mechona. It says that the person didn't know that there was a Torah, and they threw it into the machine, into the car. All right. In any case, Nordzulib Hidur Ba'alma was wollt gewen gleich, als ihr sollt menadev sein von eure Geld am Mantel und am Mappe zu dem Sefer Teure und euch dem Mol teines Bahab, aber nur bis Chatzais, und geben dmei teines auf Tzedakah. The Rebbe says, as a way of hidur mitzvah, as a way of strengthening the mitzvah, it will be appropriate that you purchase a new Torah cover with your own funds. Contribute the Torah cover, and also fast Monday, Thursday, and Monday, but don't fast a full day, only fast until midday, until noon. and give money to tzedakah in commemoration, in honor of this.
No,
and that's then there's another question. There's another question about the wine. There was a wine that this person wrote a letter to the Rebbe about another issue, which was that they had wine at a wedding, and the wine was not mavushal, right? So everyone's familiar with this rule that wine has to be kosher. Kosher, of course, all wine is kosher. Grapes are kosher, but wine has a specific halacha, which that it may not be handled by a non-Jew. If a non-Jew touches the wine, it makes the wine not kosher. And the reason for that is for two reasons. Number one, because wine is used in religious services of other religions, lahavdil, and also because wine brings people together. So people drink wine as a sign of special respect with each other. So we want to keep a boundary between Jews and non-Jews, that we don't drink wine together with non-Jews, in order that we keep a boundary that we wouldn't chas v'shalom marry someone who's not Jewish. So, but the rule is that if the wine has been cooked, then it's not eligible to be used in religious services because it diminishes the quality. It makes it not such good quality. And therefore, the rule about being handled by a Gentile doesn't apply. So this chassid left a bottle of wine out by the wedding, and someone who was not Jewish may have touched the wine. He wasn't sure if maybe one of the waiters picked up the wine or something. And then it looks like it wasn't sure about whether somebody drank the wine or not. And so he's writing to the Rebbe to ask, he feels terrible that there's this possibility that he caused Jewish people to drink wine because he was making the wedding, that he caused Jewish people to drink wine which was touched by a non-Jew. So the Rebbe writes, regarding the bottle of wine by the wedding, now you write, it's the whole thing is a suffix, it's a doubt whether that's what happened. And also, technically, according to halacha, you're not held responsible for what someone else, for lifnei iver lo siten mikshol, for passing the wine. You're not responsible for the fact that this other person drank the wine because you didn't physically give them something which they could not have gotten on their own. And therefore, you don't have to worry about it halachically, but still, the Rebbe says, it would be appropriate that for extra care that you give charity to the value of 73 meals. And that would be 73 meals would be, let's say if a meal is $10, so give $730 to tzedakah. And this way, that'll be considered as if you fasted the number of times that it's brought in Sfarim that a person should fast for this particular sin. And of course, the Rebbe says you don't have to give all $730 in one shot, all 73 days in one shot. You can do it, spread it out throughout the year until Rosh Hashanah. And the Rebbe ends off with a blessing of good yontif and regards to your parents.
But that
So
would have been a bigger problem if they were Masada Kedushin with that young wife.
Right. So we don't know who this letter was, but you could see that this is a person who's very careful, very concerned about the mitzvahs, and is quite worried that they might have done the wrong thing, and wants to know how to correct that. Practically speaking, also, we should know that if somebody that even though it's permitted to, the Rebbe says that it's not it's not a sin, but nonetheless, the Rebbe says, look, here's something that you should do in order to express your teshuvah, in order to repair what happened. So we have to be careful that we always serve wine, that we make sure that our wine is kosher. And there's excellent wine out there that is kosher. And there is wine that is mevushal, that when we're in a situation where there might be people who are not observing the laws of Judaism to that degree, that the wine is mevushal, which means that it doesn't reach the level of true wine that these laws apply to, and then it's permitted to drink that wine.
That applies to grape juice too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grape juice is technically wine.
Right.
All right. In any case, thank you all for joining the Rebbe's advice. And we plan to move this class to Saturday nights. We'll change the format a little bit. We'll hopefully do some teaching from the Rebbe. Maybe we'll do a story and a niggin. It'll be more of a Motzei Shabbos type of broadcast, and hopefully everyone will enjoy. We'll see how that works. Generally, I'm very tired on Saturday night, but maybe we can, it's also quite hectic at home, but hopefully we'll be able to find, we'll try it out and see how it works. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Yashir
All the
Kol.
best.